I always felt like ever since I played Pokemon games when I was a kid, that my ideal career was a Pokemon trainer. Something about it just seemed like so attractive. Like it's beyond the obvious, like cool thing of like catching these cute and mythical creatures and like training them to battle and be your friends or whatever. Like I think what really appealed to me was the idea of just like setting out on your own, like with a couple good friends or even just on your own and meeting people along the way. And just like giving your whole self to something, like just leaving home, leaving behind all your shit and just like spending every day out on this adventure, working towards a goal, like being the best or catching on all the Pokemon or finding new Pokemon or whatever. I was thinking recently how at every job I've worked, I've had to put on like a work persona. Even like when I worked with my family or like with bosses that I actually liked, I still have to like have this persona at work. It's not like me. I have to be like me who cares about our customers or like me who, like the meme, like my work persona hates breaks and loves putting in the extra mile for customer satisfaction or whatever. And I realized that I think it's that work persona, the fact that I can't be myself at work, that's really draining and it builds up resentment towards the people that I work with. It drains my energy. It drains the satisfaction and fun out of doing things that maybe otherwise I would have enjoyed. And I think that's what I'm pursuing and working for myself is just being able to like just fully commit to something and be my authentic self, spend my time authentically doing what I want to do. And if you don't know, my name is Kirby. I was a software engineer at Amazon for 4 years. I ended up hating it, so I quit this summer to start my own business and do whatever I feel like, post YouTube videos, and I'm putting everything I learned up here so you can do it too. And I don't know if you thought about this before. Maybe you realize it, maybe you haven't, but like at your job, when you talk to the people that you work with, you have like a personality that you assume to like fit in there. At least that's the way it was for me and always has been. And when I was a kid, I used to pride myself on that ability to be able to hang out with any group of people. Like I could hang out with my skater friends or my nerd friends or my prep friends, my music friends. Like I used to be proud, and I still am a little bit, that I can just like fit into different social situations. But like when you do it at a job and you just do it every day, and maybe it's something about being older, it really starts draining you. Like I want to be able to be silly or like speak my mind, say what I'm really thinking and like stand up for the opinions that I have. And maybe you can say like, okay, this is like a personal failing. Like you can still be yourself at work. You just have to like have the guts to stand up for yourself and accept the consequences, or like maybe your coworkers won't like you or whatever. But I think like the systems in place at most workplaces like don't support that. And they make it so that if you did do that, you couldn't sustain it. At a big company, it seems like work is very political and it's kind of like a popularity contest, which is influenced by like your ability to do stuff. Like if you can get stuff done that people above you want you to do, like that makes them look good, like you'll be successful, maybe. And when I've worked at like smaller places, I mean, I have felt like I'm more able to be myself just because like there's not like all the political machinery moving around me, and like I can actually like talk to these people like we're just people. But it's still like I'm not able to, like I'm never at these small jobs like doing the things that I want to be doing. Like I'm not spending my time authentically. So I have to, it's just like the whole thing is under this pretense where like we all care about this. Like we all have to pretend that like, that we care about this business, or like we want these people to succeed, when in reality, like usually it's like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like I'm doing this work so I can get money, so I can continue to live. And that's like that's not a good place to be for either side, right? Like you don't want to be in that place, and your bosses, they don't want you to be in that place, even if they think they do, because it's not sustainable. And I've heard some people, like when I say this, talk about how like they don't expect to bring their full selves to work. Like for them, it's just a job, and they go home from it and they have their like regular life. But for me, it's like, it's not realistic to segment myself or compartmentalize like that for a long period of time. Like it's draining to have your work persona on every day for most of the day. You're like essentially just, pretending to care about shit you don't care about, pretending to be somebody who you're not really. And I'm not saying like we need to fully commit ourselves to something, like we need to like 24/7 grind towards like one goal and never do anything else. And like some people do that, but I think it's like a recipe for burnout. And that's not what I'm suggesting. That's like not the kind of life that I want for myself. That's not like a good alternative to like the corporate grind, right? I don't think you have to abandon everything else and grind 24/7. You just have to be emotionally engaged with like the time that you're spending, the stuff you're working on. And if you're working on something that actually like matters to you, like you're interested in it or you care about it or you're invested in the outcome, like authentically invested, not just like sunk cost fallacy invested, then like you can spend your time and energy authentically, right? Like, and for me, that's what working for yourself allows you to do. I mean, like in my mind, right? Like I'm trying to make that a reality, but I'm not quite there yet. But that's the whole motivation, is to be able to spend my time authentically, to have the freedom to choose how I spend it, what I work on, what I don't work on, and when I'm working and when I'm not working at all. That's like the big dream for me. And I think it's possible. I think it starts with figuring out something that you want to do just for now, something that you want to spend your time doing. Not necessarily like what's not what seems like the easiest or like the most passive way to make money, so that you can like then free up your time to work on what you actually want to do once you have this passive income machine. Like that's not like a real thing. Like that passive income is going to take time to set up. So you might as well just skip that and just do what you want to do from the beginning. And it doesn't have to be something that you want to do forever. It doesn't have to be like the perfect answer. It's just something that you're interested in for now that you can try and pivot from and learn from and keep doing. So that's like how to become a modern day Pokemon trainer, right? So you find a boss that you can be yourself with. Ideally, the boss is yourself. You figure out what you want to spend your time doing, and you build an audience around that thing by being authentic, by learning to grab and hold attention. That's like what I'm working on now, right? Like it's essentially learning marketing, but for the things that you want to do. Like you can do what you want to do and just learn marketing and sales to make those things viable in capitalism shit world. And so once you build an audience around that thing, you teach them what you learn and you give them the tools they need to succeed. Like as you're learning about this thing, as you're doing it, building in public, you help other people do the same thing that you're doing. And you just charge for some of the value that you give them. That's the whole plan. That's my plan. It seems like the best plan for me, or someone who wants to work and spend their time authentically and like being true to themselves. And that's the Pokemon way. Don't sue me, Nintendo. That's all I got today. Thank you for watching these. Thank you for being here. Be nice to yourself today. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.